Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
I will do this thing. Did you not listen to me? Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 95th episode of Screaming Into the Void. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me is my co-host, Devil Made Me Do It. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Good deal, good deal. We are coming up on the big 100 here in about 5 episodes. We'll be doing a 100th episode, which is pretty fucking cool, actually. A lot of shows on the internet don't make it that far, so I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know if we're going to do anything like special about it, but I think we probably will have some people on who haven't been on in a while if they're willing, and just kind of make a celebration of it, really. Yep, still 5 episodes away. This is 95, not 100, and I'm happy to be here. We're live right now, currently on Rumble, Twix, and YouTube. You can watch us and comment from any of those locations, and yeah. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have some fun and talk about horrible, horrible, horrible things. Yeah, that's my radio voice.
Here on KQ257.
Right? It's so weird too, because I'm not as good at that sort of thing if I'm on somebody else's panel. Like you were talking the other day about how it's much harder to run a show than it is to just be a panelist, and for the vast majority of that, I absolutely. But for some reason, I stumble over my words a lot more when I'm a guest than when I'm a host. I'm not sure why.
Oh man, yeah, I'm the exact opposite of shit. I wish I was better at being a host, but nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just comes with practice, right? Because like I said, this is 95 episodes of this show. We just did, I think, episode 74 of Abyssal Musings last night. I've done, I think, 10 solo streams, maybe 11. I'd have to go back and look. And I've thought about doing more of those. I just, it's just kind of one of those things where I did those whenever I had something to say at random hours. A couple of those I did at like 3 o'clock in the morning. But it is what it is. I think it just comes with practice and talking and all that. But because if you go back, man, if you go back to the early episodes of Screaming Into the Void, they're horrendous. Like some of the most inane words, hard to listen to shit on the internet. And part of that is because my audio setup was different. And part of that is because I had no fucking idea what I was doing.
You're roboting bad, dude. Like you keep cutting out.
Fuck. Well, hopefully that clears up in a second. So let me can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but here we are. So let's get into saying hello to the chat. So that before I completely bust out, I'm gonna blame this on the fucking storm. By the way, the solar storm. Kohai, good to see you. If you don't mind, I'm in a little bit gonna probably show those pictures that you took of the aurora, because they're pretty sweet. We've got Shadow of Hawk in chat and not up on the fucking panel where he's supposed to be. Hi, Shadow. We got Andy Pickle. All right, let's see. We got I think Big Cremo. welcome to the show. It's a hell of a name. I don't suppose you're Cream NATO by any chance. Met a Cream NATO on Devil's Show last night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here we are. Let's get into it. So, it's been a weird week. Specifically, we got this solar storm that's causing all kinds of issues with apparently like satellite things, and it's fucking with birds pretty bad and all that. And but it is causing some pretty spectacular imagery in the sky too at the same time. Last night there was an aurora borealis that could be seen as far south as I think I want to say northern Arizona,
Oh, jeez.
which is pretty impressive because it's very rare that it reaches as far south as I am, and I'm in northern Wyoming.
Yeah. Definitely not Arizona. Shit.
So our friends Horror Amarada and Sheep City are in Montana, and I think they see it more often than I do. But even then, it's still not as common as it would be, say, in Canada or Alaska, up near the Arctic Circle kind of thing. So yeah, there's been some pretty spectacular images that have come out. Our own Kohai Maska took a number of really, really good shots because she was smart enough to go out of town where there are no lights to interfere. Whereas I took a bunch of pictures in town, and it's less vivid.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't even get to see it. By the time I was done with all the shows, went outside, I couldn't see shit. So
yeah, it's a shame. It was pretty interesting. It was weird too because I went out and I looked up and I couldn't see anything at first, and I had to let my eyes kind of adjust to what I was seeing because it all looked like pale and white to me. Hey, Shadow, good to see you.
Sorry if my audio sounds different.
And then the colors.
So I haven't had a chance to set shit up.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to interrupt, Sam.
Oh, it's fine. So I'm looking up at the sky, and everything. It just kind of looked like wispy clouds at first, right? Just kind of like pale wispy clouds, because again, street lights all around me. And if at some point, like I started seeing more color, and the photographs I took actually turned out better than they actually showed up on my screen when I was taking them.
mm-hmm.
You can see quite a bit more color in them than initially could through the lens. But even so, it was kind of one of those things to see. I think I've got them saved up here, so I'm going to bring this up on the screen. So, Shadow, did you have a chance to? Did you guys see any of this stuff?
I'm going to be honest, Chief. I didn't know it was happening until after it had happened. I did get some people. I think I saw Kohai's. You retweeted them, and Lily 300 Mirrors was complaining to me in some DMs about how she didn't get a chance to see it, or she tried to, but it wasn't very good. Rather.
Yeah, I talked to Lily too last night, and she was unhappy, but apparently it wasn't going to show up where she is. So I don't know. Maybe she'll have better luck tonight because it's supposed to go on through tonight too.
Gotcha, yeah. Well, also, it could have been like the issue that you mentioned about like when you're in town, it's harder to see because of all the light pollution and all that shit. Whereas if you're out in the middle of nowhere, it'd be easier.
That's fair.
Maybe. Yeah. Like if I stuck around over at the Ren Fair my family spent all day at, I'd probably be able to see it better tonight than I would be able to by stepping out on the front porch.
Yeah. So this is the best picture that I took, and this was directly overhead. You can see stars and shit. That is the best shot I was able to get. So I did not see flaming cobras, Andy. By the way, welcome in. Yeah, this and I'm actually happy with how this shot turned out because it's kind of got like that whole, kind of cosmic ray sort of look to it, which is very cool. But it's not as vivid as I would have liked.
It's very cool though. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I have a few others, but they're kind of tainted with the street lamps around me because they weren't directly above or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So let's see though. Do you have, however?
The question is, did you hear your ancestors speaking to you through them?
Not through them, no. My ancestors are
Yeah. And then my ancestors are stuck on the other side of the pearly gates, so they're burning in HE double hockey stick, so they can't talk to me.
What are you talking about? I always let people make calls from
fair
down here.
enough. So
Aren't you just a judge? Don't you
it
delegate
makes
the
them
actual
regret their
punishment
choices
to other
more.
people?
I'm a hands-off
Yeah.
leader.
How you doing?
Right. So here is something that came to us from Kohai. This is one of the shots she took last night.
That's nice.
That's freaking awesome.
It's
Yeah.
and there's a few more here.
All right. Someone track the constellations. We will know the exact latitude and longitude of Kohai's dog walking route.
Dude, don't be a dick.
I didn't say I was going to do it. I just told someone, Devil, you do it. Yeah, no, these are freaking amazing. Looks like sherbet ice cream.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, a little bit. You know, and this kind of thing you can see, I think, more obviously in the northern latitudes. It tends to be a little bit more frequent up there, especially during certain seasons. But yeah, down here, this is a rare opportunity to see something fucking amazing, right? And what I like about it is with all the shit that's going on in the world, you know, and with as divided and as kind of pig-headed and asinine as Americans have been lately on every side, right? For a minute, all anyone was talking about was, holy shit, that's awesome. You know, it was only for a minute, but it was one of those things we all came together to look at this kind of amazing site here. I think of the ones that Kohai shared with us, this one's my favorite.
Oh, that is amazing.
That's just too cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's kind of funny too, because there were some people who, you know, there's always those doomsayers, the people who think that every little thing is a portent of the end of the world, who are going around saying, "Oh, we're all gonna die." It's like, okay, you know, I was like, it might cook off the magnetosphere, it might not, who knows? But yeah. In the meantime, if this is a portent of the apocalypse, at least the apocalypse is pretty, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, you may be dying a horrendous death, but at the very least, it's entertaining. It's colorful. It's nice.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that I got to see it at all. I'm going to go out again tonight and see if I can get better shots. See if I can con somebody into driving me a little further away from the city lights, or maybe just take a hike, and see if I can't get some better shots of it, because it is supposed to happen again tonight. So technically it's happening right now, but with where I'm at, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's just hate ball and blue, and you can't see any of it, but it is happening. There's just too much ambient light in the air.
I mean, you could always offer to do some odd jobs for a biker gang, and they could always take you out. Hey, Tiny.
Hey,
Hey,
Tiny, what's up?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool though. I do enjoy things of this nature. As I don't know, I like cosmic stuff. I like stuff involving space. I like stuff that you know, for a long.
Night Kohai. Also, Sam, I think you cut out.
Yep. Yeah, man. He cut out completely, man.
So, Devil, how's the weather?
Really? Sunny.
Okay, I don't know. Apparently, according to Amira, apparently old people like talking about the weather, and I would like to have a conversation you would enjoy. So, how's the weather? You said sunny. That's good. Do you like sunny weather?
You little squirrely
No.
shit.
I mean, am I wrong?
This little prick is fucking starting shit already.
What did he say? I missed it.
He's seen there saying, "Oh, old people like to talk about the weather."
No, I said Amira said that, and I wanted to include you in a conversation you would enjoy. Well, we waited for Sam to come back. Hey, Sam.
I'm gonna fucking fry the little fucker.
Yeah.
One of these
Oh,
days,
man.
Birdie. One of these fucking days.
Foul zoom right to the moon. I realize by saying that it makes me seem older than I am because that show has been off air since before I was born. But it's like, Shadow, you have no idea what I'm referring to, or do you?
I have absolutely no clue. I'm just playing Raid Shadow Legends until I hear something I'm able to understand.
One of these days, Alice. One of these days.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude,
By the
Alice
way, did you know you
Cramden
can
was
play
so
Raid
hot.
Shadow Legends for free?
What are you
Yes.
sponsored?
No, I just unironically enjoy the game. Like, unironically.
Yeah, you and the quartering both.
See, I think he's a shill. I think he's a shill, but no, I picked up the game. I do enjoy it. It's funny. I do hope they sponsor me one day.
That's
because
why
I
you
like
keep
money.
plugging your shit.
No, because I legitimately think it's a good game. Because you can like you can be studying or you can be like doing something else and just have it running in the background. Also, plenty of the women are very well endowed and scantily clad. So there's that.
It sounds like you're trying to sell it to me, dude.
Yes.
And if you subscribe and use my player code, you'll get this free bundle.
Funny enough, I do still have like 2 friend codes left over, so it would give you a ton of cool rewards.
See you later, Kohai. Stop it. just stop. Look, point is like I a couple years back when I was more into like mobile games and shit before I realized that it was basically a big casino to drain me of all my money. I tried Raid Shadow Legends, and it was okay, and then it got boring because it's nothing but a grind, unless of course you shill out real world cash. So I quit playing it. But I never actually went on live like this and said, hey, you guys should check out Raid Shadow Legends. It's really cool. And by the way, my player code is so you can join me in the game. Point is that you sound like the quartering when you talk like that.
Yeah, but fortunately, legally speaking, I'm not like I legitimately think it's a fun game. And if you guys I'd recommend giving it a try at least, and if not, put it away. I'm going to stop because I'm starting to hear what you mean, Sam, and I don't want to admit that you're right.
Yeah, if you come in the game quick enough, you can join his guild. My dick is smaller than a bird.
Fuck, hold on. No, when my friends were playing, we did have a clan just because you get free shit when your clan logs in enough times. Fuck, what did we even call it?
Mm-hmm. It's like get me free shit clan.
No, we called it where the fuck? Oh, so bear in mind we made this like 2 years ago. The Federation of Fraggers.
Full disclosure, I did play the game like maybe for like a week, and I wasn't that into it.
Real quick, Andy, that's not 100% accurate. The show didn't exactly promote domestic violence. It did. Obviously, Ralph said a lot of shit, but he never actually acted on any of that. And if you watch the show, Alice Cramden not only rules that household, right, but she bails his ass out of trouble all the damn time, which is why he never took a swing at her, because he knows that he's screwed without her. So also it's really funny. It's called The Honeymooner's Shadow because you're, young and ignorant. It's a good show. It's Ralph Cramden and Ed Norton, I think. I can't remember if Ed Norton is the name of the character or the actor who played him. But anyway, a couple of idiot buddies, right? This is like Beavis and Butthead before Beavis and Butthead, way before. You go out and they get into all these these kind of predicaments because they've always got a get rich quick scheme, and their wives are just basically sitting back laughing at them and then saving their asses. Yeah, it was.
Sounds like some Mary Sue stuff.
It really isn't. It was a situational comedy that was actually very funny because you thing is Alice Cramden is not unlikable. First of all, which for me is one of the primary characteristics of a Mary Sue, somebody who is completely unfucking likable. Doesn't matter how competent they are, but if you cannot like them, if a show's trying to force you to like them, even though there's nothing redeemable about that character, that falls in line with Mary Sue. Alice Cramden was a great character, subtle, funny, clever, also cute with a full head of hair, not shaved on one side. And she wore dresses.
No piercings.
Yep. Thanks, Andy. Yeah. So, what did Tiny say up here? The sun is reaching the height of its 11-year cycle, so the next bit should have other chances to see the aurora. Yep. Cool beans. Keep an eye out for that shit, guys. If you get the chance, go outside after dark. I think the best time last night for me, where I'm at, was around midnight, give or take. So yeah, just keep an eye out for it because it is definitely worth seeing. So, yeah. It's been a strange week though. Like I've got this headache that kind of feels like there's something like interfering with the signal in my brain a little bit, right? And I wonder if that has something to do with it, or if I just, I just got a tumor or something. Maybe that's it.
Chip in your head's short circuiting.
Yeah. Turns out I'm a robot. That would not be good. So I do have this thing here talking about the magnetic storm, as it were. If I can bring it up, it's gonna piss me off if I can't. Nope, that's too far down. All right. So here is a chart that talks about the geomagnetic storm impact scale. And from what I understand, the storm that currently is happening, I don't think it's been upgraded yet, but it is at a G4 level, which is severe. Possible widespread voltage control problems on the power grid, HF radio sporadic satellite navigation degraded for hours, LF radio navigation issues. Aurora may be seen as low as Alabama and Northern California, which is where we're at. What's really funny is that G1 migratory animals are affected at this and higher levels, which means it starts fucking with birds like right out of the gate.
Fuck the birds. Wait,
Yeah.
I'm a bird.
Yeah. You're gonna keep saying things like "fuck the birds." I might have to, put you in a room with Kenzo.
No, I don't know the context, but I would like not to be, please.
He's really obsessed with Nikola Tesla fucking pigeons.
What?
You heard me.
What?
Yeah, fucking pigeon, like splitting them in half with his wank.
Well, no, what's worse, that or that the guy is a simp for Taylor Swift? Let's go with he's a Taylor Swift simp. I feel like that's worse.
I kind of think the pigeon fucking thing is worse, but sure.
Yeah, we definitely need to get Kenzo around Birdie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be near that, please. No, I'd like to avoid that. Thank you very much.
He'll probably sing some Taylor Swift at you.
Would you kindly not, sir, ma'am, it, them, whatever an eldritch deity's pronouns are.
Kenzo likes to say, "I likes you and I wants you." We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
It's terrible. Well, he'd be a feathery, wouldn't he? if there was any truth to that. I don't know that there's any truth. He had special relationships with pigeons. I don't believe that they were sexual. Kenzo keeps insisting that they are.
See, is that better or worse than what Mr. Hands would do?
Eh, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I have kind of blocked all of Mr. Hands out of my memory, so
Well, for those who don't know, Mr. Hands was
didn't
a
need a
Boeing
reminder. Shut up.
engineer.
Anyhow,
Mr. Hands was Birdie's grade school teacher.
No, I think he got raped to death by a stallion before I was born.
well, it was nice having Shadow on the show. We're just gonna. God damn, dude. User has been banned for naughty words. Welcome in. We're gonna get banned for naughty words too, apparently.
Yes. Wait, can I not say horse or stallion? Am I not allowed to say that?
No, I told you I didn't want a fucking recap, and you went ahead and did it anyway.
Oh, no, give it to chat, not you. You just happen to be
I
near.
don't care. If I don't want to hear it, they don't need to hear it either.
Okay, that's
Anyhow.
fair. I'll concede. That's fair. Anyway, back to the end of the world. Back to Civil War.
Oh, I didn't say anything about Civil War. This, like, if this, if cosmic stuff has its way with us, it ain't gonna matter if we're Civil Warring or not. We all fuck.
Sorry, sorry, I jumped ahead on the script. My bad. Hold on, let me jump. Okay, here we go. G4. All right, yeah, I'm back on where I'm supposed to be with the script.
You say that like I provide what to say to you. I don't even know.
Wait, so who's been sending me these scripts?
It's not me.
If they say go kill yourself, it's me. I'm just
See, that would narrow it down to
In
either you or
Minecraft.
JV, honestly. Howdy, Stormcrow.
Hey, Stormcrow, good to see you, man.
Oh, another bird. That's nice.
So,
Oh no,
yeah,
they're multiplying.
it happens.
You know what that means? Time for the calling.
Right.
Wait, so Sam, what would a G6 look like?
I don't know, but Thanksgiving's coming early from what Devil's saying.
It's a plane.
See, we've
G6
had that joke before. Larry threatened me with violence and being turned into Nashville fried chicken. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not scared.
Well, you don't have to be scared. You can just be dinner. See how that works? Like your feelings don't come into it.
Your feelings don't care about your facts. Got it. Understood.
My oven doesn't care about your feelings.
Exactly. Facts don't care about the feelings. There we go.
We got to put a poll in chat. How should we cook? Shadow.
Oh shit!
Fry.
I'm gonna do it.
Bake.
I'm gonna do it. This will be over on the YouTube side for those of you watching elsewhere. So, but yeah, I'm gonna do that because I don't know how to put polls in chat fucking anywhere else. Let's see. While I'm doing that, what are your the solar storm? No, dude, one isn't expected to come soon. It's happening right now. It started last night. It's supposed to continue through tonight, or at least the effects are visible to us tonight, actually. So, which is pretty cool. Actually, Stormcrow, if I sent you a link, would you hop on? Let me know. So meantime, we need to fuck. Can I
Wait,
do this
is
from here?
Stormcrow one of those people who's like a big name in the community that I don't know because I'm oblivious?
He's a little bit more on the Amira side of things. So all right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me I can't figure out how to put it doesn't want me to put the poll in the chat. So anyway, yeah, Suka's got it for us. Microwave. We got air fryer. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal.
Don't
All right.
cook me.
We could sous vide him. Go French.
Yeah, no, that's also not on the table.
think that it's not up to you, dude.
Yeah.
It absolutely is up to me.
The meal doesn't get a choice. Okay.
This isn't.
We're gonna drop
This is
on,
not
like Papua New Guinea
democracy.
and have him
This is not
talk to the.
democracy. This is not two wolves or two eldritch beings and a person debating on whose dinner. This is a constitutional republic, sir.
Person. What are you talking about, Goose?
We just drop him into Haiti and let him explain geopolitics to them while they cook him.
Yeah.
I just start. No. You stick me in Haiti, I'll just start blasting. I'm not taking any chances. It's gonna be like what's that one zombie game that like people got mad about because it came back on Twitter again or something like that? That you just killed a bunch of black zombies or something. I
Mhm.
basically just treat it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It was like a Left 4 Dead game or a Resident Evil game or something, and like because you were in Africa, all of the zombies, were African. And
Oh,
apparently that's
Resident
pretty-
Evil.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, Resident Evil or something.
Five or-
I don't play, so I don't know.
I think it's 5.
I just know Twitter was having a little bit of a tizzy over it.
Yeah, it's because they were shooting like people who weren't white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black
Something like
people
that.
can't be zombies. Have you looked at your history? Look
those
into
are different
voodoo. Go
zombies.
ahead. Look into voodoo.
Totally different kind of zombie. I gotta put that out there. It's not the same thing, but
I know.
It's magic, not parasitic.
Yeah, one was caused by the white man.
Don't most zombie viruses come from China?
Man, you're gonna get the
Well-
show canceled. Shut up.
in the case of voodoo, it's not a virus. It's a combination of drugs. It starts with a base of scopolamine.
Mm.
And it doesn't actually. What it'll do is it'll make a person appear to be dead, like it slows down their vital signs to a point that is very hard to detect them. And a lot of people get buried alive that way, and it puts them into a state of hypersuggestivity,
Oh.
which is where the term, and actually the term zombie comes from the voodoo religion. It got applied to the undead after Hollywood got a hold of the term. So, but yeah.
Kind of like how Wendigos aren't normally depicted with antlers, but because there was one movie with that, now all Wendigos have antlers.
Well, that's because Wendigo were men once, and now they're spirits of hunger.
Right, but like the original depictions and stories didn't involve the horns, but then a director added horns to his interpretation, and now most people depict Wendigos with horns. Same thing where zombie was a voodoo thing, but now it's just applied to any generic fleshy undead type thing. Kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. It's like entertainment takes liberties. Takes a lot of liberties with stuff. Sometimes they get things a little bit more accurate. Sometimes they don't. It's one of the things that I liked about Buffy the Vampire Slayer was that their depiction of vampires was a lot more accurate to old Eastern European lore than most other things that you would see on TV or in the movies. Essentially, it's a corpse inhabited by a demon. Right. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff they got weird about it, but yeah, it's essentially just a corpse that's inhabited by a demon, reanimated by a demon. Like an empty vessel.
I did not know that's how vampires worked.
Well, it is in Eastern European lore. Yeah, it's one of the reasons that they used to say that werewolves and witches would become vampires when they died. Hey, Stormcrow, good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to be in among the number, good brother. Good. What's going on to you, good brother? Good brother Shadu. What's good with you? Samael, my brother. I like that name I'm glad that you actually got that name. That's a cool name you got.
Which one?
Samuel.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was going to come up and kind of rant a little bit about air fryers. I don't know why people are so freaking like dead set on getting one. Because my wife got one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me at least, it looks like it's an easy bake oven for adults.
I mean, essentially, yeah. It's essentially what an easy bake oven is. It's just a smaller, supposedly safer one for kids.
Yeah, so it doesn't really make any sense. Like I can see if like you were going to get one, if you were in like what am I thinking? Like maybe in an efficiency, a studio apartment, you were in, say, an RV, maybe. But if you have a full blown kitchen, like if you actually have an actual stove, like a range or whatever, I don't see. There's no need for it.
Mm.
And people like they rave about it. My wife says she watches this one chick that swears by it. Has a full blown has a full blown 8 burner oven. So I'm like, wait. Okay, so anyway, I don't really see how it's I don't see how it could be better. I'm not really saying how it could be better, Andy, because unless the only reason why I can see it could be better is because maybe because the portions are smaller, so you don't have to make as less. Like say if it's just you and like maybe your wife, like maybe like you got the whole empty nest thing going on, and it's like you don't have to cook as for as many people, I guess. But I think it's just honestly I think it's just a useless gadget that just people are just really just
Well,
became enamored into just buying. At least that's how I
yeah.
understand it.
Well, it's also the people not wanting to actually like you'll see people that have a small apartment so they don't have much counter space and they'll
Okay.
have an oven with a range and then on
Uh-huh.
top of it it'll be a toaster oven. And you're all like,
Okay.
"Why do you have a toaster oven up there? You got a freaking oven right below it that
Yeah,
works
it's
the
like
exact same way, dude."
so it's just I think they just honestly I think they just bamboozled people into just getting it.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's better for you. It's better for you. So yeah, then people have to go buy a $60 freaking piece of equipment they never use.
And it's crazy. So wait a minute, it's better for you. Why? Because you use less grease. Well, of course you use less grease. It's because you're using a smaller implement to cook. So
Yep.
I'm all for using less power, I guess. But I mean, is it really negligible though compared to what you could be actually making? And the reason why I'm saying this is like if say let's say you're cooking like say a chicken quarter, right?
Mhm.
Sure.
And you're cooking it in just the because the chicken quarter, it's pretty good size, and it should be around about the size of what you'll be able to make inside of an air fryer. I don't know, because we saw it the one time. My wife used it. I looked at it and said, no, just get this out of my house. This is a waste of time. You're wasting time and money. Get your money back before we. But I'm assuming that it'd be about the size of what you would cook in an air fryer, at least from the one I saw. Now you compare that, and you have to make that for a family, right? So you at least need to maybe get maybe a family of about we have in my family we have 5. So there's me. I would eat the whole thing by myself because I'm just that kind of a guy. And then you probably need about 2 for my wife and for our kids. So for the amount of time and energy that you're making with that, you could literally just do that in the oven for the same amount, and I don't think you would have that much of a difference in terms of energy usage. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, I think Andy's got a point here in the chat where he's talking about and he's right about this. It's like there was a big marketing push to tell everybody that, oh my gosh, fats are so bad for you and all this shit. And so the air fryer, like he's saying here, is essentially being able to fry without using fatty oils,
Well, you got to be able
which
to
is a
fry with.
scam, but it's
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
same scam that you're talking about.
yeah. Because if you're going to fry, you got to use some kind of an oil. So I think people literally got they swept the legs.
Yeah.
They did they got the Karate Kid to him, and then we got the air fryer. Sweep the leg. Oh, I can't live without my air fryer. Oh, I love it so much. Like
I've never used an air fryer in my life. I've used a deep fat fryer a number of times, but I've never
oh
used an air fryer.
oh. I got my wife the double dipper deep fryer. Oh, we
Mhm.
have so much like fried fish, homemade French fries, my G.
Yeah, you ever cook a turkey in one of those things? It is
No, I have
unbelievable.
not. We gotta try it one of these days.
You got to be careful with that shit though, because it is hot oil and it doesn't take much to explode. So
Oof.
you
Yeah,
know,
so we're gonna
you do
do
got to
that.
be careful with that. But if you can successfully cook a turkey in a deep fat fryer, it infuses the whole bird with flavor. It's awesome.
Huh. Okay, so because the deep the is a double one, so you can like 2 batches of French fries. So I guess we'd have to find a relatively small, like maybe a young turkey to try with, because you couldn't do with like a whole big one. However,
That depends on the size of the fryer that you got, but yeah.
and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about it, because when I got it for her, this was about a year ago, and she's been using it fairly frequently. And every time when I smell the grease, I'm like, oh yeah, it's going down. We either gonna have fries, we're gonna have fish. Crazy enough, she doesn't really fry that much chicken in it, which would not be a bad thing. Honestly, I think she would be fine. But she usually fries fish. We got a lot of fried fish. What did she make? French fries, fried fish. I believe at one point she made. What am I thinking of? Something fried. I forget what it was, but it was good. Oh no, she made strombolis. Not strombolis. No, inside out. That's what she made. Those were pretty good. They're kind of like pizzas. I don't know if anybody's here familiar with like Delaware County, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia. There's certain places that they call these things called inside outs. They're kind of like strombolis, but like a little bit smaller. So she made those in there. Those were pretty good. So I'm gonna have to look and see, measure it out, and see if we can actually do it. Now we do have I got our rotisserie, and I think we might be able to get a decent sized turkey in that.
Rotisserie wouldn't be bad. Yeah, it's just like if you're gonna try the deep frying of the turkey and all that, you got to make sure everything's just right. It's kind of like It's kind of like operating a meth lab. You know, one little thing is off, everybody dies. You know.
You
What the hell, a meth lab, man? Come on.
You definitely want to.
They blow up.
Well, the problem that most people do is they try to put it in there when it's not fully defrosted. That's the trick, because if it's still even a little bit frozen, it will shed off the water, and the water is what makes the oil go crazy, and any overflow, you're going to light it right up, because usually turkey cookers are the big ones outside over open flame. So that's why you have so many accidents with them. But yeah, if you defrost it completely, make sure you don't overfill the oil. It's not near as dangerous.
Okay. I figured it wouldn't be that bad. Cause the first thing I was thinking of when you saying about it exploding, it's got to be because there's some water left on the bird. It has to be, because if you leave water on the bird, and you leave it on anything, you getting a whole big old mess in there. Well, then I gotta clean it up. So
we had that issue one time. I was probably about Shadoo's age. And I was working at a KFC in Colorado, and somebody went and they dropped a bunch of chicken in the fryer and all that stuff. But there was I forget exactly how this happened. Somebody anyway, a bunch of water ended up getting in there, and my store manager pushed the cook out of the way as the fryer exploded, and coated him in 375-degree oil. He sustained third-degree burns over, I think, 60% of his body, ate right through his clothes, saved the cook's life, nearly died himself. Oh yeah. Well, he did that because he saw it coming, and it was I absolutely applaud there. But there was another occasion where that same man decided that, if ammonia cleans real good and bleach cleans real good, maybe if I put them in the same mop bucket, it'll clean even better, and almost died again.
When you
same guy.
Anybody who works in food, who's had any training in food, safety is the first thing they teach you before they teach you knife skills, before they teach you any of that. They teach you the safety, and do not mix bleach, and you don't want mustard gas. But also,
quickest way to clear out a room.
Yes, it is.
With frying, that if you throw an ice cube in a fryer, you will see that thing just jump the oil, because oil and water don't mix. They don't want to mix, so they stay separate. So when it boils, it is volatile, and you got to be so careful. But I've seen people throw frozen stuff in fryers before who were completely unaware of it, and just the fryer going crazy, just spitting oil everywhere. The only thing that hurts worse than being burnt by oil is, because oil sticks and it hurts so bad, is molten sugar. That's the worst thing in the kitchen I've ever experienced, is molten sugar hitting your skin. Will hurt forever. It sucks so bad.
Yeah, I can believe it because because it starts the whole caramelization process, and if it's on your skin, and it starts to harden as well as while it's burning this. Oof, yeah, yeah, I can believe it.
Is it better or worse than getting super glue on your hand?
Well,
I would
worse.
definitely say super glue on your hand is not even nothing because you can take some fingernail polish and just get that off your hand. You're good after that.
Yeah.
And luckily,
That would have been a lot smarter than what I did.
So you gotta get a woman in your life. So
Dude, we
a
used to
good
use
woman in your
super
life.
glue to seal up cuts.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We used to seal up cuts on our hands and shit with super glue back
Well,
in the day.
yeah,
just
Oh,
'cause
I
it
had
was
some
handy.
used to
that's a quick.
I had
quick
some
way
used to seal up my skull when I was younger. No, but I was messing around with tabletop minis, and I got a little bit on my hand.
Uh-huh.
I used the clippers to cut it off instead. That was not smart. Anyway, sorry to cut you off, Stormcrow.
Use a stone cold G for that one.
You had your skull sealed up when you were young?
I've told this story so many times. We were cleaning up for spring break. A desk fell on me, split my skull, and I had to get it sealed up.
Yeah, that.
You mean the skin was split, not your actual skull cracked, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're closing that,
I just know a desk fell on me. It hurt. They took me somewhere. They sealed it up. I had to sit still for a couple of minutes as like something dried, and then I went home.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was just your skin split because I was gonna say if they're closing up a hole in your skull with the super glue,
all you'll be able to think about is crazy glue, bro. I'm telling you.
Right. Now you got to get Gorilla Glue for that. It'll hold.
You know what? I think Gorilla Glue is so overrated. You want to know why? Because it's not for everything. I think what happened.
Sure.
I glued something with Gorilla Glue. I forget what it was, and the results was just so bootylicious. And I was like, no. JB Well is pretty good though. That mix the stuff you mix together.
I like Gorilla Glue for certain things.
Okay.
It works pretty well for certain things. I have a katana that I had years ago, and it was cheaply made, and so like the handle was in fact 2 pieces of wood with a wood lock right in the middle of it, which even though the tang goes all the way through and kind of holds that all together and all that, it still ended up splitting at one point. Broke it was at a right angle and all that stuff, so we ended up taking the whole thing apart, and what we did was we used Gorilla Glue to glue it back together. You just put your little dabs on there, and then you pin the whole thing under a windowsill for like 24 hours so it'll set. But I wasn't convinced that was going to be enough. So we also Gorilla Glued 2 steel dowels to the narrow sides and 2 steel plates to the broad sides, and then tried to rewrap that, which of course made the thing like twice as thick as it was. So I didn't have enough wrap to go around that. So it looks really bad. It's stapled on. It's I call it Frankensword now, but I guarantee that blade will break long before that handle ever will again.
Frankenblade.
Yeah.
You're right, user. There was somebody that did that.
Yeah.
Sounds like one of those movies you'd watch, Sam. Sounds like something the guy who made Velocipaster would make.
No, those movies had class. Well, it worked. It worked. The problem is that it now with all that extra steel in the handle side, it was completely off balance.
Yeah, I figured the balance would be off.
You say that like a film called Frankensword couldn't possess class.
I'm not saying that it couldn't. I would watch a movie called Frankensword, but I don't have a movie called Frankensword. I just have a sword that I call Frankensword.
So make a movie called Frankensword. Just imagine how little money it would make.
How little money it would make.
Hey,
man,
no, he's just giving me shit because I like shitty movies.
Oh man, I used to love MT. My guilty pleasure, and it's been for a while, is MST3K. I've been a Misty for a while. Oh man, I think the newest. Well, I would say the newest season 1 with Jonah. I think that was pretty good. The guy Baron, he did a fairly good job as Tom Servo, and I forget who the other guy was who played Crow. But that particular season, that particular Rift Tracks too is pretty good. That's when you have Mike and
I
the
think
other
Riff
two guys.
Tracks was the original guys doing something else. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing, but yeah, they it was the original MST3K guys.
Well, no,
Because
because it's not the original, because that's Mike, and then you have the original voices of Servo and Crow. So it's like a mixture from that. But there was another one, Cinematic Titanic. That's when you have the original. You have Joel, and then you have the Mads, and then you have what is that? The Mads, the one leader of the Mads mom in there as well. So it's five different people, and also the
hey, Jacob.
original, the very first original Mad Scientist when he was a boy and now he was a man. I saw that. I love that. That was a good. And unfortunately, that seemed to. I guess it may have stopped. I think they had like a whole a series. It was on Hulu, as a matter of fact, Hulu and Netflix, and I think they might have stopped. And I don't know.
Are you talking about when the bad guys started getting played by like Patton Oswalt and Felicia Day?
Yeah, that's the
Because
one that came out recently.
I couldn't get into that shit, man.
Really? You didn't like it?
No, I don't like Patton Oswalt.
Oh, I hate him.
Ooh, yeah.
Fake nerd.
Yeah, he was a big disappointment. He was, because
Hey,
when he
Squatch.
first came out, he was pretty good, but like then he just went all the way to the left, and then it's like seeing a train wreck in real time in slow mo. Like you
Yeah.
know it's going to be bad, but you're like,
Like let me put it this way. So a couple of years ago, I finally got around to watching the Timothy Oliphant show, Justified, right? Which is really good, by the way. I highly recommend it. First 6 seasons are amazing. But
Okay.
Patton Oswalt is in that, and the only reason I could tolerate his bitch ass in that, especially because his character was also a bit of a bitch, was that he keeps getting the shit kicked out of him. He's bloody and bruised almost the entire time he's on screen, and I'm like, I don't hate it.
yeah. Like yeah. This some prime viewing right here. He is such a disappointment. He is
Yeah.
such a disappointment because when he first came out, I was like, okay, yeah, the guy was pretty brilliant. And then like after comedy special, I think it like what was it like after his like third or fourth, and shit just went into this weird dimension that it's like, what?
Right.
Nah, fam, nah. I couldn't go no further with it.
Well, part of that problem is that he was one of the first of the quote unquote celebrities to kind of be famous for being famous. Him and Felicia Day both were like people on the internet who got, influential enough that Hollywood plucked him up and, made him, big and whatnot. And then when they did that, they kind of set off sort of the era of celebrities saying whatever they like all over social media, which is where we are now, which is why there are no more movie stars, is because we all know that they're idiots. Like before there was some mystique, right? But now we know they're fucking idiots.
Or they're mid as fuck like Zendaya.
Look, she's all right, man. She's not that bad looking. She's not my type, but she's pretty enough, I guess. She's just, whatever.
I mean, maybe she is, but I'm just tired of people, both in real life and online, acting as if she's some like 10 out of 10. Maybe that's why I think she's mid.
No, that's not her though. That's them pushing her.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah,
find her to be a mid, to be honest.
I'm just a dick. But yeah, I mean, like celebrities
She's too
aren't
skinny
really...
for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I like my girls to look like women, not androgynous boys.
Yeah, that might also be part of it. But yeah, I mean, like, using Zendaya as the example, there's nothing really special about most celebrities anymore. They're kind of just like, they're the people they want you talking about rather than this person in spot. Like, compare someone like John Wick, or not John Wick, sorry, Keanu Reeves, who has like a personality to him, and you just like you or Henry Cavill, like those are people that draw interest. Whereas a lot of other celebrities are, they're on the red carpet smiling, they're saying what they're supposed to say on the interviews. There's no personality or soul or anything interesting about them anymore.
Well, that's
At least to me.
fine. I'd rather that we knew less about them. Honestly, I really would. If they're going to maintain this like this modern Olympus kind of status, they really shouldn't be out there like just laying it all out there, and a lot of them do, right? Like what's his name, the guy from the Reacher show, Alan Richman, or Rich, whatever. He came out and said some real stupid shit in the last couple of fucking weeks, and I'd have been more than happy to keep watching his shit had he never opened his mouth. Had he just been like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing over here. You should check it out. It's pretty good." Like, they should all be selling their product. Instead, they're selling themselves, and what they're selling is not something that anybody wants to buy.
Exactly, because they're not, inspirational. They're not interesting. They're not people that you really care. Like they don't have personality that wants to draw people in, and there's nothing interesting about them. They're just people that happen to be slightly more attractive or happen to be on the right couch at the right time. So if they either need to have a personality that can draw people in if they want to show themselves off, or like you said, they should just shut the fuck up and let the mystique do the work.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm eating some cookies, so I didn't want to chew in you guys' face, in your ears and stuff like that.
Also, Stormcrow, do you mind if I ask, is your name a reference to the mercenary company in Game of Thrones?
No, it's actually a reference, more or less, kind of like Edgar Allan Poe and also Tolkien, the name for Gandalf.
Gotcha. Okay.
And truism, because, well, nibbers don't like the truth like that, so you gotta hit them in the head with the one thing they hate the most. So
what's a nibbers?
Nibbers? Think about it for a second. Think about it. NIBBUH.
Am I going to get in trouble for saying that?
No, I wouldn't get mad at you for saying it. Why would I get mad at you?
YouTube is gonna slam down upon this channel the same way Harvey Weinstein. Anyway, moving on.
No, the reason why I say it is because it is a gift to all the Westerkin. I actually have it pinned on. I got to put it back on my Twitter. The NIBBER, nibber, or if you want to be more AAV compliant, NIBBA, nibber. And just see how the exhibits exhibit when you say that.
Shadow, Shadow, I was kidding. Honestly, I don't think of all the shit that I have said on this channel in the last like 6 months, that's not going to be the thing. It takes us down. It's just not.
Oh man, I'm telling you. And every time I say it, it makes me like, what is he trying to say? What is he saying? I did it. What was it? I was on this one channel called Mule University, and I said it. And she's like, what does that mean? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Like, nibbers is nibbers. It's nibber.
Hey, Clue.
What's going on?
Clue's got the link too if he wants to join us. He's in the group.
Get the link, bro. Yeah, we Gulag Gang, another brother of the Gulag Gang right there.
So, but yeah. So have you Stormcrow, have you had a chance to see any of the Northern Lights as they were happening?
Sorry, but usually I might have to open up my window. I have not seen them as of yet, but I think I might be able to, so I may be able to see, because I got a stream tonight. But where my office is a pretty good view of the sky, so I might be able to see it.
Good dude. I recommend, if you get a chance, and they show up in your area, I'd absolutely recommend it. It's totally worth it. Even if it portends fire from the skies and we all die together in an apocalypse of biblical proportions or whatever, it's still really pretty.
I don't think it's going to be just that close just yet. There's a lot of things. I don't think society has gone that far enough for it to be a sign of the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't believe that it is either. There are people out there saying that it is, but I don't believe that it is either. I think it's just atmospheric phenomena coming from a particularly nasty storm on the surface of the sun.
Yeah, that's all it is. We're not there yet. It's getting there.
Right.
It decides to take out the power grid and drives America into a Fallout style post-apocalypse due to not having power and running water anymore. That's a very different story, but it wouldn't be.
There are redundancies for that. It's not going to wipe it out for good. It'll go down for a little while, if it goes down at all.
See, I like the Fallout example. I like the Fallout example. I want to wear a bunch of football pads and start running around screaming Latin words as I beat up a bunch of dudes from California.
You know what? So there was a show on Netflix for a season, and I forget what it was called, but it was basically all of the adults died, so all the kids like went Lord of the Flies, and
Jericho.
No, it wasn't
no, it wasn't
Jericho.
Jericho. This was a comedy.
Oh, no, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Jericho's a good show, though.
It is.
It had Matthew, fucking guy from Ferris Bueller. He was in it as like the only adult who was still left, and it turns out, you know, a little bit of a spoiler. He's kind of a cannibal, but anyway, I could see Shadow totally fitting into that world.
Oh, dude, the end of the world would be so much fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the moment I encounter an actual threat, like a Negan type person, I'm probably dead at best and chained up at most likely. But while I'm running into a bunch of fucking like college students and baristas and 300-pound people, like, it would be so much fun.
Dude, Zombieland. What is the first rule? First rule is cardio, right? Fat people are not going to last long in an apocalypse. They're just not. They're not going to run fast enough.
The only reason they get to live is because of the first couple of weeks you want extra high calorie meals, and human meat is highly caloric.
If all this shit goes, if it all goes to hell, you're gonna end up like Channing Tatum in that movie with Seth Rogen and shit, where he's the little gimp.
I don't know who that is. I don't watch movies older than me. That's a lie.
That's where Danny. What's his name? Danny was like fucking him in the ass nightly.
Yeah.
Whoa! What?
Yeah. It's got Channing Tatum in a gimp suit on all fours.
I think it's called "This Is the End." It's got
that's
like
the one.
Seth Rogen and all that whole crew in it, and Channing Tatum shows up in a cameo because Danny McBride, he gets thrown out of the group or whatever, and they find him again. He's a warlord of cannibals, and he's got Channing Tatum on a fucking leash wearing a gimp mask.
Lord have mercy.
And he's like talking about how he fucks him in the ass.
Oh, hey guys.
That's insane.
It's like they did something similar in did you guys see Bullet Train? Came out on Netflix a couple weeks back or a couple months back?
No, but I've seen the scene involving the boom slang venom a few times. It's pretty funny.
That's not what I'm getting at, but yes, that happens in that movie. There is a scene where Brad Pitt runs into Channing Tatum and he's like, "Hey, if I give you some money, will you do this thing for me?" And he's like, "Is this sex stuff?"
Come on, bro. Damn, Channing. Come
and he
on,
goes,
bro.
and he's like, "Oh, I was just kidding." He's like, "No, it's not sexist. Oh, I was just kidding." When Brad Pitt walks away, he's like, "What a great walk he has." And then later, another guy comes up to Channing Tatum, and he's like, "Oh, is it time for the sex stuff?"
What? This is a weird turn in his career, man. He was the dude that everybody was salivating over when what was it? That
Magic
Gans
Mike.
movie. What
Magic
was that
Mike.
movie? Oh, Magic Mike.
Magic
too,
Mike.
That probably might have solidified him. But he came on the scene with his what was that? It was that dance movie.
Step Up? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
there you go. Step Up. That's how we got introduced in there, the whole thing, because he had, it had the kind of the white boy wigger type of thing, like the wannabe Negro type of flair to him, and you know how so. And he came on with that, yeah, and then it seemed like he was doing fine. Magic Mike, of course, that was his big movie, Magic Mike. I think it was in Magic Mike 2 or whatever, and then all these other things just kind of just got weird with him. Again, it's just like as soon as you get to be like a movie star and you get into Hollywood, it just seems unless you got some serious balls to you, or I guess maybe depending on where you were born or whatever, it kind of turns you into for all intents and purposes a bitch ass nigga.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think
it's
also
get the channel killed.
I think it's a choice too, because you have other actors that haven't really. I mean, what's the guy who plays Aquaman?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa hasn't been seen there. Yeah, I'll take a role where I joke about people fucking me. Like. So I think it's just Channing Tatum maybe not making the smartest choices, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to make a joke about that. I'm cool. I'll take another role. Thank you.
Yeah,
Look,
I don't know.
Devil,
I mean,
or,
he used
sorry,
to
Sam.
be in some really good movies. He was in this movie a while back called The Eagle, which was about a Roman legionnaire who ventured north of Hadrian's Wall to retrieve the standard of his father's legion from the Celts. That was a good fucking movie.
Oh, like
You know?
the final battle with like all the veterans and stuff, so fucking good.
Okay, I might have to look it up. The Eagle.
Yeah, it's a really good movie, and that's Channing Tatum at the height of his career when everybody wanted to have him in his movies, and now he's the sex toy that gets passed around by Seth Rogen's friends.
Lord
The
have
fuck
mercy.
boy joke.
Dog,
Yeah.
imagine. Look, think about that. Think about that. I used to be idolized. I used to be thirsted after by the baddest blonde bitches with big titties, and now I'm getting passed around by Seth Rogen
Yeah,
and the homies.
I used to have sex scenes with Selma Hayek, and now I have sex scenes with Danny, whatever his name was.
Lord have
Danny
mercy.
McBride, who's no specimen himself, by the way.
Oh,
He's
Lord.
like, I think Danny McBride is hilarious, but that man is not pretty.
Is Seth Rogen the unfunny fat guy, or is he the bearded unfunny fat guy?
The bearded unfunny
Yes.
fat guy.
Okay, gotcha. Just making sure I know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
He wasn't that bad at the beginning, but yeah, lately he's just not funny anymore. But
that was the craziest thing about that dude. Like, he looks like he should be a comedian, but he is not a comedian at all.
No.
Like, you would think he could be a comedian. No. He just plays in funny movies, has that dumbass laugh. That's the only funny thing about him is that dumbass laugh. Yeah, it's just like, nah. I did love him in Pineapple Express, though. Him and James Franco, they were good in that.
I thought Pineapple Express was a pretty good movie. You know, a bunch of their
and
earlier
Hazel.
stuff I actually really liked. You know, I
Yeah.
enjoyed. I even liked Your Highness, even though it was dumb as shit. You know? It was
Only
fun.
thing I liked about that movie was that you get to see what's her name in her
Natalie Portman's ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it in there?
Yeah.
Yep. Seth, it's you got to get the right version of it. There is a version of it that's where she's a little bit more covered up, but the one that was initially theatrically released, she's wearing what basically is a medieval thong.
Ah,
Little leather thing. Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, Natalie Portman did have a little bit of she had a little bit of thing when she was young. The first time she saw it, I thought, oh, okay, looky what we got here.
That depends on how far back you go, man. Because she was
Now,
like 12 she started acting.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. Far. I'm talking like when she was like in like Attack of the Clones or something. I ain't going that far back. No.
Oh, sure, yeah. As long as we're not going back to the professional.
Oof. Yeah, I thought about it. The first day I was like, no, wait a minute, hold on, is that the professional girl? Yo, she grew up nice.
It's like Jodie Foster, right? So I forget the name of the guy who actually did it. Was it it wasn't Sirhan Sirhan, was it, who shot Reagan? Or it was fuck, I can't remember the name of the guy who shot Reagan. Anyway, he did it out of this misguided idea that Jodie Foster would fall in love with his display of affection for her via shooting the president of the United States.
Yeah, it was
right?
John Warnock.
Whoa, what?
Oh, it gets better. It gets better, Shadu. So he fell in love with this actress that he's never met before because of one movie, which was Taxi Driver, which she was 12 years old in that movie playing a hooker. Yeah, man. That's the movie that this guy got all. Oh, I gotta have Jodie Foster. I gotta impress the shit out of her. And then he goes and he shoots the fucking president to impress her.
That's the craziest thing. Like,
what?
You want to talk
about almost
somebody being thirsty? Oof.
Yeah. That's almost as bad as Pitcher in the Rye or Catcher in the Rye or whatever that book is called, inspiring the assassination of Lenin. What the hell?
It's
like
people are unhinged.
You know, so if you don't know Stormcrow, Shadow here is a bit of a history buff, but there is a gap in his knowledge between, like, you know, the middle of the 20th century and when he was born. Right. So there's stuff that happened in there that he has no idea about.
No idea about.
Okay, addendum. I know things about everywhere but America in that time period. I know a bit about China. I know a bit about Russia. I know a bit about well, I mean, there's not much to know about Africa, but you know.
In my lifetime alone, some wild shit has happened in America.
Probably, yeah.
Crazy shit. The LA riots, the fucking OJ riots, the fucking Rodney King riots. Man, look.
Wait, who's king?
Okay.
You don't know who Rodney King is?
Oof. That, man,
I thought you were joking about Martin Luther King, and I was joking about
Rodney
not
King.
knowing that. But who's Rodney King?
No,
okay.
No. Rodney King was a truck driver who, during the LA riots, he gets pulled out of his cab and they beat the ever loving shit out of him.
No. That's somebody else.
I am.
Rodney King was when he got his ass beat by the cops. I think they might have been chasing
That's
him
what
for
started.
a while.
You're right. That's what
started the LA riots.
He got his ass not just beat. He got his ass whooped by them cops. They wore his ass all the way out.
He got his ass beat by a white guy with a nightstick whose name, as shit you not, is Officer Coon.
Yep. That was amazing. That was amazing. And then
holy shit.
And then nibbers being nibbers, they started rioting. Do you know they even had a riot all the way in Philly? It was
there were BLM riots in fucking Australia, a place that doesn't have a large black population. I'm not surprised.
Dude, I promise you, those riots had nothing on the LA riots.
Yeah, they
definitely didn't. I'm just saying, like, I'm not surprised a riot happened in Philly when, you know, American politics influence other fucking countries.
Thank you, Winky. It was Reginald Denny was the truck driver who got he got pulled out of his cab by a bunch of rioting people, and they beat the shit out of him too.
Did you see the video of the dude that two-pieced him into unconsciousness? My man started dancing away like, hey, yeah. I died laughing when I see that every time. My man deuced that man into oblivion, right into a full-on coma, and danced away like it was the hottest thing ever. That's nibbers, boy. You gotta love nibbers. Gotta love nibbers.
Well, God better, because no one else does. That's a little joke for you. But yeah, no, there's that whole period of American history. Like, you are missing out on some crazy shit.
Some of the crazy shit. What was that? You remember that dude that blew up? Who was that? His name.
You talking about Timothy McVeigh?
Yeah, you go. Yeah. When he blew up that
the Oklahoma Federal Building in Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Like, that was insane. Like you said, it's like a whole part of the building got sheared off by that. That was some crazy stuff.
My uncle was in bed 4 blocks from there, and the shockwave from that explosion threw him across the room.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, don't you know Sam lives like 6 doors down from me?
No, I don't. Okay. But an uncle of mine did live in OKC.
That's like, and then the whole Waco thing happened. I just recently, me and my wife, we saw a documentary on that. Some of the saddest, and it's just a lot of the decisions that were made in it.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It's like, dog.
Should I know what Waco was?
Yes, you're a Texan.
I pseudo-Texan. My family isn't from here.
That doesn't matter. It was national news.
You didn't know about Waco? Oof.
So essentially, a guy named David Koresh created his own little cult. They had a compound. They owned the land. They built a house for everybody to live in together. They were stockpiling arms, but they weren't like, going out and like shooting people or anything. They just had them.
Right.
He had convinced his cult that he was the second coming of Jesus Christ. They were called the Branch Davidians. And so he had a number of families that had come to live there, and he had convinced them that it was in their best interest that he, impregnate all of their wives and stuff. So a lot of the children that were there it's very, very likely that they were in fact his and not the husbands of the women who bore these children. Anyway, so Janet Reno was the attorney general at the time. And some shit was not going well for her. She was under fire for some other stuff. And so she needed to win, a political win. And so she directed basically the FBI and the ATF to go down there. And I think there was some other shit involved too, to see about doing something about this, because these guys, they were living off the grid, right? They were exercising their First Amendment and their Second Amendment rights. There was some shady shit going on in that compound. There absolutely was. David Koresh was not a good dude. However, nothing they did was in violation of any real laws. They were exercising their rights. And additionally, Koresh took a jog into town every day, into the local town every single day at the same time. They had plenty of time to just grab this guy, right, if they suspected him of wrongdoing. But no, they decided that they were going to make things complicated, and they kept him under surveillance until one thing led to another. Shots got fired. Everybody barricaded themselves inside the compound. The FBI and the ATF were outside. I think 4 federal agents were killed, and something like 76 of the Branch Davidians died.
Yeah,
over half of whom were children.
Yeah, that was.
And they weren't
totally
shot. They were
fucked.
burned to death.
Yes. Lord
What
have
the
mercy.
fuck?
Totally fucked.
Yeah.
Look it
By
up
the way,
on
that your
Netflix.
tax dollars at work, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Totally fucked. So look it up. If you probably have Netflix. If you have Netflix, look it up, bro. That's some next level fucked shit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
and-
right on the tail of Ruby Ridge. So it was
right after it.
two losses in a row there for them.
Yeah, man.
Was Ruby Ridge the one with the Kool-Aid, or is that a different one? No, that's Heaven's
No,
Gate. Sorry.
different.
Ooh,
No,
God,
no,
dude.
all the
Ruby
way
Ridge
up.
wasn't a cult, dude. It was a family living off the grid.
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking of Jonestown, which happened in the 70s
Yeah,
in
like I've
South
established,
America.
I'm not competent.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate was another cult that happened in. I think that happened in fucking like California, didn't it?
No, you talking about
Yeah, Heaven's Gate. Yeah, it
oh,
was the
Heaven's
ones.
Gate. You're
Yeah,
talking about- I'm thinking something else. Yeah.
Yeah. They all put on the same shoes. They all ate the same meal. They laid down, put like some fabric over their faces, and just died, thinking they were gonna jump on a spaceship that was behind a what do you call it? It was supposed to be in the tail of some sort of meteor.
Oh
or
yeah.
something.
It was the Haley Bob
Oh
comet.
yeah.
And they thought there was a spaceship behind the meteor, and it was in the tail. And if they died at a certain time, they would go aboard the mothership. And so yeah, they killed themselves.
Yeah, it's like I said, man, you missed some shit.
From where I'm sitting, there's a lot of stupid shit coming down the pipeline for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna get worse. You're gonna see some crazy shit, but I'm saying that there was a bunch of crazy shit that you don't know about that's already happened.
I have seen some crazy shit. Thank you, Iran, for being stupid.
I'm just talking about your government, man. I'm not talking about anybody else.
Please don't remind me that.
Yeah, it's
RFK Jr. had parts of his brain eaten by a worm, and yet I'm pretty sure he's still more competent than Biden.
Dude, we were gonna bring that up today.
And the sad part is, the exact same shit would happen because it's not even Biden doing shit. Hey, D-Day.
Honestly, I think the worm would probably be a more competent president, even though it is dead and calcified. Yes,
Sir. Sir, are you gold?
It's not that kind of worm. This is more of a faculty kind of thing. It's a Stargate.
When he said that, though, that was the craziest thing. A worm ate part of my brain, and then it died. Like, huh? What?
Yeah. It probably got in there when it was like a microscopic parasite, and it grew as it ate, but eventually, yeah, it just kicked. I don't know. Maybe it found maybe part of his brain didn't agree with it or something. But
He had a heart attack in his head and died. Like,
yeah, so all that very fatty
D-Day,
tissue. Yeah.
D-Day, it's Samael 2024, not Worm 2024.
That's insane.
I mean, yeah, we could bring that up again too. You know, vote for me, because why choose the lesser evil?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if you picked a VP though.
I did. It's devil.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Again, why
I don't know
choose
how
the
to feel
lesser
about that.
evil?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to feel about it. You know, just vote for us, and we'll take care of everything else, like the commies.
Mm.
Mm.
That was a good post you put on X, by the way. Salute to you for that. Made a lot of sense when you made the comparison between communism, capitalism.
First thing I'm going to do when we get elected is I'm going to find out whoever Hillary Clinton uses, and they're coming after you, Shadow. I'm just saying.
That's less terrifying than the people Boeing uses, so I'm not too worried.
Oh damn, y'all! See y'all.
Boeing's efficient, at everything except making planes.
Oof.
Though Wizards of the Coast isn't much of a slacker. I mean, they got the Pinkertons. Yeah.
Man, look, I did a podcast about this. It was on a totally different channel. Yo, if them dudes literally came to my house, scared my wife, I am telling you right here, right now, everything in my house that had Wizards of the Coast on it would be sold that day. And then I would usually get a lawyer to sue the shit out of them and get my fucking money back. Come on, man. You ain't gonna come to my house, upset my wife, and you think everything's gonna be sweet? No, player, that's not how I do things out here. You probably might get shot. I'm not even gonna play that kind of game. I'm not trying to say like I'm some kind of a thug or tough guy, but you ain't gonna come to my house, upset my wife, my woman? Oh no.
Yeah.
That's like to get a hole blown all the way through the other side of your ass.
He kind of sounds like my dad. He, anybody even sets foot on his driveway that he doesn't immediately recognize ain't setting another foot on it.
Yeah, like come on, we playing this kind of over some cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been done with Wizards of the Coast. I'd have been so done. Well, I am because I haven't bought anything from them since. I think when was the last time?
No, I have not bought anything. Like I still use D&D Beyond. I don't pay for anything on there just because I bought all my shit digitally. On like a bunch of the sales they did. I haven't bought like any licensed Wizards of the Coast product, especially since you can just get it all online for free anyway.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything from them since I used to play D&D minis.
Yeah. I did about 5 years ago. I think I was still so I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot, which is what Wizards of the Coast started out doing. That was like their one property. They acquired everything else along the way. And I started playing that shit back in like 1995, 4, somewhere in there, like not too long after they got started up. And I went on with it for a while, lost a couple of collections of cards, had to rebuild my collection a few times. And then everybody I knew just kind of drifted away from it and didn't want to play anymore. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll put these away. And then I had kids, right? And my oldest found my cards and she was like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this. What's this about? So I taught her how to play. So back in like, between like 2015, 2019, I was buying cards again because it was something that I could do with my kid. And I wasn't really paying much attention to what they were doing. I mean, I was aware of some of the shit because Wizards of the Coast has always bowed to mob whims, like all the way back in the day when they first censored cards like Unholy Strength, right? Was one of the very first obvious times that they did that. And then what they did to Therese Nielsen was so fucked up. But I wasn't really that invested in the rightness or the wrongness of it. I wasn't paying that much attention to it, and all that. And then there came a day when the kid stopped wanting to play, so I put him away. And then I got involved in the internet, and here we are. And I started reading more into what kind of sacks of shit they are.
Yep.
And it just gets worse. The further down that rabbit hole you go, it just gets worse. And I was like, all right, well, fuck this company and everything that they're attached to, which for me includes TSR.
Which is a doggone shit because TSR was see, here's the thing about it. I've said this, whenever corporations get involved in creativity, it dies. Because there's no longer any passion behind it. Now everything is a commodity that has to be exploited, overused, ran through. There's no way of anybody to innovate. There's no passion into a story.
Andrew,
you gotta try.
It's so perfect to say ran through is like the perfect way to put that, because it's like they didn't just run through it; they wiped the dick on the curtains on their way out.
Yeah. And they also like don't even bother doing like any actual research or anything. They just hop on Twitter and use that as like their like the changes they made to D&D, for instance.
Oh my god!
All like orcs and drow and god, they're not inherently evil. They're just reskinned humans. Who the fuck thinks that's a good idea? Losers on Twitter. And instead of doing actual market research to see what people, they just go on Twitter. They don't even ruin shit through business practices right. They're too lazy to do that.
It's just
That's village.
yeah, it is. But DEI
Village.
translates for Latin is God in Latin.
Mhm.
So it actually is a
Well,
religion.
that's literally what the word is. Day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally
Well,
a religion for
day.
them.
It's technically it's gods. That's DEI in Latin. Day is
Dei,
plural.
gods.
Deus would be God.
Yeah.
Deus vult.
Yes. This literally something they believe in. All the trans stuff, the CRT stuff. So yeah, it's almost like a pantheon. Think about it. You got the trans stuff, you got the LGBT stuff,
Absolutely is.
you
It's a
got the
modern
CRT
religion.
stuff. So yeah, it's actually a pantheon of different ideas coming together. Yeah.
Yeah, they worship the utopia at the end of the Marxist progress. They worship themselves in the form of pride, and they worship tearing down the rest of the world in either envy. Yeah, envy. It's because their lives don't have meaning. There's a spiritual death occurring in the West, and they need
Yep.
something to give them a fire in the void, and they turn to this stuff. And one of the best examples of that, it being a religion, is them going, "Well, we don't believe in religion. We only believe the truth." Name a single religion in human history that doesn't go, or rather, that would go, "Yeah, no, we're not the truth. We're kind of an option." All religions articulate that they are that they are the truth and they are superior to everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
by
that's
going,
true.
well, we
Why
don't
people
believe in
kill
religion.
each other over it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who are the people doing most of the killing in the name of religion outside of the war-torn region of the world?
Religious people.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, I mean,
Say
I was
it.
going to say cultists,
I was gonna say
pride
it.
cultists, progress
Say it.
cultists, like the mobs and all that.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I kind of forgot about the desert countries, honestly, for a second when I made my statement.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know, but this is a problem. Any time that you get a group of people or a person or a group of people who believes without a shadow of a doubt that they are in possession of the sole and complete truth,
Yeah.
somebody else is going to take issue with that, and blood will be spilled.
Of course. Every time.
Every time.
Every
Because
time.
I know Fallout's fond of saying war doesn't change. I would amend that to say people don't.
Yep. You got it right. I was gonna say the exact same thing. Humanity does not change. It never changes. It never will. Unfortunately, we were. I actually said that same kind of statement on us on the stream. Like, there is never anything within man that can cure the ills of man. It's never going to be able to do it because it's imperfect, just like humans are. So any kind of quote unquote solution for a problem is always going to have problems already inherent in it, which is the human condition.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
we
mean?
sow the seeds of our own destruction in our every move.
Yes.
And
we do it
it's
expertly.
part of being human. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very good at it.
I've been very good at it for a very long time.
But that's the biggest problem that I got with the commie shit is that when with these communists, they go and they lay out their grand plans for the future, and it's like, oh, it's going to be like this, it'll be utopia, it'll be this, it'll be that, and they never ever take into account the human equation, the human factor. Correct. They never take into account human nature, and human nature is to throw the biggest goddamn monkey wrench you can find into the gears of whatever's in front of you, because that's what we fucking do. Yep. And there's always going to be somebody who's going to try and fuck it up. And, this is why utopia is a myth, right? You get, say you got, your elites up top, cream of the crop, reaping all the benefits as always. Mm-hmm. This is how it always goes.
Yes.
Everybody else is down there being the workers and supposed to be happy when they're in their uniform gray jumpsuits and their uniform haircuts and their uniform fucking expressions on their faces. And one day Gary looks up and he goes, "Some about this don't seem right."
Yep.
You can't have that. If you want to maintain a utopia, you cannot have people asking questions. So what happens? Cream of the crop, they come down and they take away Gary. Gary's gone. Gary's no more. People are going to look around and be like, "Hey, what happened to Gary?" Oh, here's a bunch of other people asking questions. You got to do something about them too.
Yep.
Right.
And then
you come down, you take them away, get rid of them, and it spreads and it spreads and it spreads until people realize that they are being abused and they are being murdered. But by then it's either too late, right? There aren't enough of them to mount a successful revolution, or they do revolt and the whole cycle starts all over again, because inevitably, it always comes back to that same point. But utopia is not possible with human beings. It just isn't.
Nope.
It's not. I hate to leave during this conversation because this is one of my favorite conversations with Sam. I've got a half-naked brother staring at me with a foam sword and a Crusader helm. I think he wants to start a fight, so I gotta go.
Well, you have fun with that.
How did a half-naked brother get in your freaking room, dude?
I opened the door.
Oh, there he is. Well, howdy, bud.
This is my little brother. If you've I would turn the camera on, but he's actually half naked, and I don't know how you feels about
don't.
Yeah.
Don't dox your brother, man.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, he's been on my.
Let me put it this way: don't dox your brother's nipples.
I told him to put a fucking shirt on. He comes back, he's different. Anyway, I'm gonna go. You can check me out on Twitter. You can check me out on YouTube. And on my coffee page. Have a good one, everyone.
We'll see you later, Shadow.
Yo, one of these days, Sam, I think I want to have you on and do an interview with you, and just because I've been doing a lot of interviews and conversations with a lot of different people on YouTube, and I think a lot of my viewers would definitely be interested in hearing about you, your beliefs, your outlooks, your journey on YouTube, and everything else like that. Don't worry about it. I'm not one of these nibbles that want to try to do some old gotcha. And how long have you hated black? No. I'm going to ask you some serious questions about everything.
Since about 2 minutes ago.
No, that you didn't. So yeah, if you bring that kind of personality, bro, yeah, I think everybody's gonna love you on my channel. I usually have a lot of people on there. I think and Clue can back me up on this. I think some of my best interviews are just free flowing conversations off the cuff, stuff like that. I always try to make people comfortable when I talk with folks. So I think people usually come away from the conversation with me usually with a really good impression of me at least. So I would love also to get a mirror as well.
Good luck with that, but I will bring it up to her. She's very hard to get into guest spots. She just is kind of disinterested in interview kind of situations, but I will bring it up to her.
I get it. That's fine. But I mean, if as long as you come along, that still be fine. I think everybody would definitely like to hear what you got to say. Definitely have a conversation.
Yeah, we can probably definitely work something out. I like free flow too. I think honestly, not just for interviews, but just for shows on the internet, on the interwebs. I think that it makes for the best content when it comes naturally. Like we've been doing much for the last. I actually had topics today, but it hasn't been necessary to bring most of that shit up. We've just been going, and it's been great. We had a similar experience last night on Devil's Show on his channel, Beelzebub, and it was really flowed very, very well. And I find that tends to make some of the best content. It's some of the stuff that I like to listen to myself. Absolutely.
You know what, Andy? I actually just got his book too. I just got it actually in here. And sometimes I like to razz Nibbles a little bit when I like to say nevermore. Just sometimes, just to get them like, what the hell you talking about, Nipple? You corny, you weird, Nipple. I've actually had somebody actually say that to me on a panel.
Well,
he came out of nowhere.
You just answered that shit with, and suddenly there came a tapping as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
No, what I said was, no obeisance will I make me, not a single step I'll take you, yet I'll light upon the pallet bust of palace perched above your chamber door and sit there whispering to you the words, nevermore.
I don't have the whole poem memorized, but it's a good one.
Damn, dog, that was some sick bars.
If you would have heard them Negroes, man, they lost their mind when they said that. And I said that.
It's always funny when you say stuff like that, because I reference Lovecraft quite a bit, right?
Yeah,
I very much like Lovecraft stuff and the worlds that he created and whatnot. So I will reference things like that, and I actually have this my ex-wife got me back when we were still married. She got me this kind of a knit cap, like a face mask. And it's knit. It's warm as shit. I actually don't wear it that often because it's almost too hot. But it's got like Cthulhu face on it, so it's got these knit tentacles coming off around the mouth area.
Oh, that's
and I
cool.
used to wear that to this. Oh yeah, it's nice. Actually, might have an image of it on here. But oh yeah, here it is. That's not it. That's the cocaine bear. There we go.
Oh, that do look cool. I like that.
Yeah. So I used to wear that in the wintertime because, it keeps you real warm. And I'd wear it to work and all that shit. And there was this, inevitably, there was always somebody who'd come up to me and be like, hey, is that supposed to be the Predator? Or, oh, look, it's Davy Jones. And I was like, every time I'm like, crack a fucking book, people. It'll do you some good.
Oh, my gosh. I just recently got the greatest works of Edgar Allan Poe. I haven't had a chance to read through all of them as of yet. I've been buying books because you never know. And like a guy from Canada I talk to often, he thought it'd be a good idea to get these kind of books just in case somebody what do you say? Just in case they start trying to either get rid of these books, delist them, take them off, or like how they did with the Dr. Seuss books. Like they said, like all of them, like Dr. Seuss, all of a sudden got canceled, and like all of his books are gone everywhere.
Yeah, because green eggs are so anti-Semitic or whatever.
Oof. No, it was if I had a zoo.
Right.
That's what really got him canceled. Like, really, bro, really?
Man, if they think that's bad, they should check out Roald Dahl. That guy hated children, and you can tell, and he wrote children's books.
And y'all are just the most sensitive, buttermilk, whole cake ass motherfuckers I've seen in my damn life over some shit like that. It's Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss. Come on, bro. Whoville, you looking for racism in Whoville?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. Like Andy's bringing up here, and I stated before too. One of the things about Lovecraft is that there's widely, quote unquote, air quotes here, known on the internet is that he was like the worst racist of his day or whatever. Now that's not factually true. Yeah, he had some racist tendencies, as did everybody else, but the man was a dyed-in-the-wool xenophobe. He was afraid of fucking everything.
Yeah.
Right. And it shows in his work. Now, his earlier work, there's some fucked up shit in it. There's a particular poem, which I am not going to repeat the title of here, that he wrote when he was 19, that has really colored everybody's view of the man. But it becomes less prominent in his work as he grows older and in his life as he, changes his views on some shit, as people do. People grow and they change and all that, we have all said ignorant shit when we were 19. Every one of us. But that's generally what people do. Be like, oh, I can't believe you read that racist. I was like, at least I'm reading, dude.
Yeah. Think it's not illegal yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta buy some of his stuff. I gotta get some of his Lovecraft stuff. I have it on a wish list for Audible, but I definitely want to get the actual physical books.
Oh, you know what? If you like listening to stuff, I can. There's a channel here on YouTube called Horror Babble that does readings of not only his stuff but a lot of his contemporaries and that kind of stuff that are really, really good. They just put out the other day a reading of a re-recorded reading of The Shadow of Innsmouth, where they added in like some sound effects and some ambient noises and a little bit of voice modulation and stuff to kind of really bring you into the story. It's very cool. Plus, our friend Horror Amarada is actually doing readings of his stuff on her channel as well.
Okay. Okay, so let me see. They got the H.P. Lovecraft. They got the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. They got the H.P. Lovecraft Deluxe 6-book hardcover box set. See, I want to get a really good collection of his stuff.
If it tells you it's complete, it's not complete because nobody publishes that poem I mentioned.
Oof.
So I'm gonna put the title in the private chat for you, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. And if you look it up on, like, you could Google it, it'll come right up, you know, in the full text and all that. But
See, we got the complete Cthulhu mythos. That's in the hardcover. I bought the I think Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion, but I have them in like they came in when they in.
I told you. I told you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a long poem, but it's fucked up.
Yeah, baby, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Could ooh, I gotta see if I can find that. If I read that on a stream,
You get so canceled so fast.
nibbles would so get enraged just to see the reaction. I know, like everybody in the gulag, and I know like SKC will probably go nuts if I say, if I read that.
Yeah,
What we
it's
got
pretty
here?
easy to find, but yeah, nobody's gonna publish that in the volume.
Hold on, let me see. Oh no, Lord. I found it. Oh, you gave me. Ooh, you messed up giving me this. I got me a whole new toy now.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Man, oh man. Oh, you done messed up now. Here we go. Oof, oof. I just gotta wait for the perfect time to bring that up. Oh,
No clue. We're not gonna read it on his channel. It's not gonna happen.
He's like, read it. The someone really, yeah, it does read like the Bible because I'm listening to it on Audible
Mhm.
too. The reason why, I don't want to read that because I want to keep it kind of like in as close to pristine condition as possible, just in case you know what I'm saying. They start canceling him. You know what I mean?
So get 2 copies. Get one to read and one to preserve.
I got it. I just listen to it on Audible. Because the Audible version. I mean, I don't care if they take it off of them. I just heard it already. But if just in case, I want to have the original just in case. So like my grandkids can say, "Well, Grandpa, can you read?" And it's like, "Yeah, no, I'll read this to you."
Oh yeah,
like
because eventually all
Mhm.
this online shit won't be a thing anymore, and we'll be beating each other to death with sticks again. So you'll have to have something to read, you know, or wipe your ass with.
It's gonna be a not so quiet riot, huh?
They ain't gonna be making toilet paper anymore either. Some of those pages in the Bible are awful soft. That's all I'm saying.
Oof. We've been using like old rags and old shirts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For like
Yeah.
toilet paper and stuff. And look, it saves on toilet paper, except for the times like my we would get toilet paper for my recently departed mother-in-law because she didn't want to do it because it didn't make any sense. But yeah, I forget how I forget how I got my wife got into doing that. We just been doing it. And we've been doing it ever since. We've been fine with it. So I don't know. You might want to start considering getting a poop rag bag. And just do it clean with your regular laundry.
Just wash them like
Yeah.
like well they used to do like cloth diapers back in the day, and you
Mhm.
just reuse them. No,
You're
I think you
correct.
can still do that technically. It's just nobody wants to fucking hand wash poop.
Nope. You want to know why I know that for certain? Because I did the exact same thing. I bought my wife.
Mm.
It was with when we had our daughter.
Mhm.
And we used nothing but cloth diapers. Cloth diapers the
We
whole time.
did use them, but it was kind of more of a backup for like because you know baby products and shit can get real expensive too, and
Mhm.
so you know we were poor and we had a new kid and we had a older kid in the house and all that stuff. You know we kept as many disposable diapers as we could, but there were times when
Mhm.
you run out and you can't afford to just go out and buy a case of them or whatever. So you make do, and
Yes,
sometimes
sir.
that means using a fucking dish towel as a diaper.
Gets the job
You
done.
know, it does. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I have a copy of the Silmarillion that I found in a burnt out shack next to a
What?
pond in the middle of Nebraska. In what year was that? It was like 1988. I was on a fishing trip with my dad and my uncle, and there was this like old shack that had been on fire at one point. Anyway, I found a copy of Silmarillion in there that had a little bit of fire damage on the edges and a little bit of water damage from the damp in the air.
Yeah.
And I still have it to this day. I still read it. It hasn't fallen apart yet.
I'm working my way through it on Audible now. The version I got of it has let me see. Wait a minute. I can actually tell you what it has. Hold on. I got. It came in a cardboard box. It was kind of unremarkable, so you wouldn't know what it really was until you open it. So you have the copy, you have the book itself, right?
Mhm.
And then let me. I don't open it that much because I don't want to mess with it. Want to keep it nice and pristine as possible. Here we go. So it comes when you open it up. It comes in this other like little collector's box, and you have J.R. Tolkien's like symbol on it, and then it has what is this? It has a brief account of the book and its making, and you have a map that comes along with it as well. So I got a really, really nice edition of this. Yeah, here's the map of it, right? I can't really show it to you, but yeah. Illustrated. Okay. It's the illustrated deluxe version edition. Okay, that's why it comes with the map.
Mhm.
So yeah, I really got a really, really nice because I knew I was not going to open it this often because I didn't want to get messed up. But I definitely wanted to try to see if we can preserve the classics as much as possible because before these green-haired lunatics fucking cancel this shit, and I'd be
Yeah.
pissed if I wasn't able to get a hold of
It's a good
Tolkien.
thing Gal's not here.
You know, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, but no, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So, there's a few more things that I want to get. I want to get some Robert E. Howard stuff, the Conan stuff, some of the stuff before Conan. What other stuff? I do want to get some H.P. Lovecraft. I wish
I
there
would
was a way.
recommend Robert E. Howard as well.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Robert E. Howard. It's a writer of Conan. I wish there was a way I could take back the second half of Infamous or no Injustice from DC. Have you ever read Injustice?
I read the first, I think, 5 years of that comic, and then
If you
I
read the
fell
second,
off after that.
yeah, the second half, I was so pissed, so pissed. I was like, I wasted money on, and then I got Year Zero. Man, I was so mad. I wasted money on this bullshit. But mm. So, um, I want to get some Gundam manga as well. Some of the older stuff, the Stardust Zero stuff. If I can get some of those, Akira as well, if I can get it. So I got a lot of empty space on my bookshelf, and I want to fill it up with some stuff that I haven't got. Now, when we got this house, I think it was like a fourth edition copy of Grey's Anatomy. I was like, oh, okay,
Really?
yeah. It's like, oh, okay. So it's like there's a lot of great stuff that was in here that I kept, but there's some other stuff that I brought from my own collection. My dad has a lot of my books too. He has my copy of Ivanhoe that he says is his, but it's really mine, and I can prove it because it came from the school that I got it from.
Hey, Sam, I've got to dip out. My back's just not gonna handle this.
I was
But
just gonna ask you how you were doing.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Well, again, double. It was good to meet you, bro. I gotta stop
yep,
by your channel sometime, fam. Thank you.
yep, absolutely nice to meet you too. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yes, sir.
All
Let
right,
me get
man.
off of here because
See,
I gotta get ready to get my own stream together and
well,
stuff like that. But pleasure,
we might
brother.
as well
Pleasure.
bring this show down here. So I will probably end it here as well. It's we're coming up on 2 hours. Haven't touched on any of the topics that I meant to get to here. So we'll
Wow.
probably bring some of that up next week.
All right.
But yeah, why don't you let people, because I don't have your information in the description yet. Where can people find you on the interwebs here?
Well, if you want to, you can find me on Twitter. Excuse me, X. Also, I have my YouTube channel, and I guess let me see if I can. I think you'd have to, unless you want to just put it. I can just put the link to my channel. Hold on there for you. Here we go. I can just post it to you on the back chat here, and if you want to post it, that's my my channel link right there. I usually stream 9 p.m. EST every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it's on a range of topics, whatever stuff that comes to mind and stuff like that. Sometimes it's just regular old nippetry, but sometimes there's a lot of serious topics that I talk about. Whatever it comes to mind. I don't really have I'm not. It'll be somebody. Sometimes it'll be politics. Sometimes it'll be social commentary. Sometimes again it's nibbles, random stuff that comes to mind. Always try to have a good entertaining stream if I can.
Good deal. Good deal.
I'm gonna hit you up on I'm gonna hit you up on either on email or on X, and we can set up a time when we can talk good, bro.
Sure, absolutely. As most of you guys in chat already know, that was Devil Made Me Do It. His channel is Beelzehub on YouTube. He does a variety of shows. Did Beelzehub this morning. He has Get Ranked tomorrow. He's got Wrong Think on Wednesdays, and then he helps out on Green-Haired Anti-Liberals channel, where she's doing cooking the books as well. She's usually here too, but she's taking a break because she's got some other stuff she's dealing with right now. So she should be back with us either next week or the week after. I think it might be the week after. Shadow has his own channel. He does stuff usually relating to Warhammer or Game of Thrones or that kind of thing over in his channel. It is in the description below, as well as Devil and gals and a number of other people who are technically part of the panel but aren't here all the time. As for myself, I am Samuel Infamous. If you're watching either here, Rumble, or on Twix, you know where to find me. Tonight I should be over on Exile Linus 2. If there is a show, I haven't checked on that yet. I will find out here shortly. Next time after that, you can see me over on Adam the Renaissance Nerd's channel for Mellow Mondays, Monday night. And then back here for Abyssal Musings on Friday. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Shadow and Devil for being here, and to Truism and Stormcrow especially for hopping on last minute and having a hell of a conversation with us. And we're going to go ahead and get the fuck out of here. Thank you all for watching. Remember, YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Have a great fucking night. Bye. That is the wrong goddamn thing. Hold on a second.